Okay, once you log in, you're going to click Go to Your Projects and add a project. You're going to give it a name, whatever name makes sense to you. I just called mine Chatbot. You could put in Chatbot and then whatever your topic is. It's up to you. And then you're going to recognize text. That's what we're doing in this. All right, click Create, and then go back to where it says Chatbot About Me or whatever you put it, whatever the title is, and click on the title. So this is the main dashboard that you're going to need to use. Now in my case, all right, you're going to start with Train. So click on Train, and it's going to ask you to add buckets. So now the buckets are whatever you decided the topic would be for each of your questions. So my one question was going to be about books. So you can just go and add all your buckets first. I think the instructions ask you to do that. So what I tried to do, the instructions tell you to use full sentences, but in this exercise, actually you'll see in a second, I'm narrating this after the fact, I decided to just put in words and see if that will work, and it actually did work for me. So you can try it both ways and see which way works better. So my question was going to be, the basic question was going to be, what kind of books do you like? So you could, and then the idea is, how many ways could you ask that question? You could ask the question using things like, do you read fiction, or what novels, or what paperbacks, or do you read paperbacks, or anything with those words. So since we're trying to train the model, we're trying to train the computer to understand what we're talking about, I put in a bunch of words that had to do with books. But in the, you'll see when you look through the worksheet that the company made, it actually asks you to put in full questions. But you can try it either or both ways and see what works for you. So the second category, the second bucket, was about food. What kind of food do I like? All right, so now I'm going to just add in things that might have to do with food. And because the idea is the computer wants to identify, what are you talking about? That's the main thing, is what are you talking about? What's the question asking me? What's it about? And then it's going to reply with specific answers based on that. So by putting all these things in, what do you eat for dinner? That would have to do with food. I mean, this is my thought process as I was going through it. Once again, sorry that this video is taking so long. I might try to clean some of it up. Okay, and you're going to need 5. In this exercise, I just went on with 3 because clearly 5 would have taken us way too long at the pace I'm going here. So this label was going to be hobbies. Okay, because I couldn't think of anything that made sense. So to do, so this is kind of like a, what do you like to do in your spare time kind of question. And once again, please be creative and inventive, and think of, this does not have to be anything that's about animals or owls or about yourself or anything else. It can be any topic you want. You get the idea, hopefully, without me rambling on like this. But I will continue to ramble. So you can put in this is these were phrases I put in, as well as just words. So. And once again, any combination. And the truth is, the more examples you have, the better training your computer will get. And you'll see that a little later on, because I'll show you test it out, and I had to go back and change it and fix it. And that's going to take you a little while to get it working the way you want it. All right, so once you've got things in there, you're going to go back to where it says Back to Project. So this is where the computer's going to actually learn. So you're going to click Learn and Test, and that's going to put it through all its processes. So it tells you what you've got, and you have to have at least 5 examples or it won't do anything. So you click that button to have it learn, and it's going to be, it says it's training, so it's learning all those things that you put into it. And while you're waiting, you can scroll down and try the little quiz questions if you like. Let's see. Okay, so I got this one wrong. That's okay. All right, you can go on to the next if you want. You know, we'll see how long it takes. Once it's done, there it goes. It pops up with a question. Now the question you put in here should be a full sentence, and it shouldn't be exactly what you put into any of the buckets, because you don't, if you did that, you could just do that in programming. The idea is for it to understand what you're talking about. So I asked about what I do in the spare time. It said hobby. That was exactly right. It had 100% confidence, so let's try what do I like to eat, and it came up as hobby again. So now there's a problem. So now I have to go back, and this is what you're going to see. It obviously wasn't right. So now I have to go back, and I want to go back to the training piece, and I want to adjust what I have in the buckets. So I noticed that I didn't ever put eat in the food thing. There wasn't even an eat. So hopefully that was the problem. So I think we're going to go try that again. So it has to relearn. So you have to go through that whole process again. You can delete that model first. You don't really have to. You can just click the blue button. We'll get it to start again. So let's do that. Okay, once again we have to wait. Sorry for how long this takes, but I think I got this one right. Okay, okay, good. All right, I think it's almost done. Okay, it's done now. All right, so we're going to try that same question again. Now that I added the word eat, we're hoping that this will work. What do you like to eat? Still came up with hobby. Okay, so that's still a problem. Once again, this is the important part for you to keep going back and forth to make it work the way you need it to work, and try to figure out why it's not working. All right, so I think I need to add some more phrases, and I think maybe it came up that way because the first question was hobby, and I said, what do you like to do? And even though, once again, it shows you that the computer learns from all the responses that you put in there, that it just said, well, the first question had those in it, and the answer was hobby, so this probably was too. So I just changed this to, I added a like to eat under the food, and a like to do under the hobby, and hopefully the computer will be able to make the difference between like to eat and like to do. So let's give that another try, and this is the whole process. And clearly the more phrases and words and things you've got in there, the better. So you can just click on that blue button and it'll relearn or reteach and retrain. But it does take a few minutes each time. But this is the heart of what I want you to be working on. This is really what this lesson is all about. Getting it to work in Scratch is just kind of the fun part afterwards. And you can split it up so that you do this work the first rotation and the Scratch work the second rotation, or whatever works for you. You just have 2 rotations to get the whole thing done. But I really want a good job. All right, trying it again. What do you like to eat? And it comes up with, yay, food. All right, it figured it out. So I'm happy with that. Once again, it gives you that confidence level, and in a lot of cases it has to have a certain confidence level before you can go on, but we're not doing that here. The next thing is to make it. So that's next.